Hello, 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 all my gorgeous honeybees. This is our first ever Ignite Your Business Entrepreneurial Girl Talk, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys. Everybody here is from the Ignite group, which love having you guys in that community. Yeah, or if you're watching the replay, you're watching the replay because you're in the Ignite group or something else. So, anywho, I'm so excited to get down into this talk because you guys have been sending me your top two challenges throughout the past month or so. And this is the wonderful time where you get to ask me your burning questions. I get to answer them in this very casual, um, this isn't a training. This isn't a workshop per se. This is genuinely a girl talk from entrepreneur to entrepreneur. I'm giving it to you guys very raw, very real. I have a slight agenda to what I want to chat about, but really, honestly, we're just kind of rolling with this. So it's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be fun. Um, with that said, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. Per usual, first off, if you are new to my world, hello. I am Bree. I am your energy coach, and I created Golden Bee by Bree back in December of 2020. So I'm coming up to 3 years doing being an energetic entrepreneurial coach. And I started Golden Bee because I love is my joy. It is my reason for living. I love being able to work with entrepreneurs, creators, online service providers, other coaches, and helping them being able to understand their mindset, their energy, and being able to have alignment in their actions so that they can embody their CEO power and really take their business to that next level of success that they know they're capable of. They're just wanting to figure out how to do it in a way that feels good, feels fun, and is sustainable while also being able to access wild amounts of freedom, autonomy, finances, all of the above. So that's a little bit about me. My background in history, I have about, what would I say here? Like 7+ years in creating brands on social media. 5 years, well, 7 years as well of like selling and fundraising, having that background, being an entrepreneur. 5 years in the human development world. So that's like everything of like how you like neuroscience, behavioral science, understanding psychology, all of that fun stuff. And then to be totally honest, um, I've had, I would say, 29 years of experience being an intuitive, energetic empath. So I am a Reiki healer. I'm a quantum energy healer. I am a channel. I'm sometimes a medium, maybe I should, if I'm using that word correctly. But regardless, I'm super sensitive to things such as energy. So being able I'm in a very unique position where I am able to bring a lot of the logic, a lot of the science, a lot of the structure of how to run a business and how humans operate, and being able to marry that with and have a beautiful combination and balance it with the feminine side of being very intuitive, being very open to other energies, knowing how to manifest and how that works, and more so than your grandma's law of attraction. And how does that apply to leverage and be a catalyst for your business versus hindering it? So, with that said, let's jump into it. So, first off, everybody go ahead and take the time right now to go get your beverage because this is just chat. And honestly, what's a girl chat without a little bit of beverage? So, go get a tea, get a wine. I don't know, it's Friday when I'm recording this on 3 o'clock on a Friday Eastern time. So, have you ever been start early? It's fine. It's like the week before Thanksgiving. So like who's even working right now anyway, honestly. Go get your beverage. And while you're doing that, we're gonna cover some ground rules. So first off, if this is your first time at a Golden Bee training experience, yada yada, you'll know while I was a big fan of note taking in school, what I have learned is it's actually not the most helpful way to process new information. So if you are a crazy note taker, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, drop the pen, drop the notebook, put it aside, put it away, If you have to take notes, feel free to use the comment section of this video to write down any aha moments, anything, any big revelations, insights, anything that you want to capture. So that can really help, that can help you ingrain it into your brain through that engagement. Or honestly, just sit and be open and receive. There will be a recording of this so you can watch it multiple times. And every time that you hear it, honestly, you're going to come away with a different insight, with a different takeaway. You are going to be able to take what you need in this moment from this Q&A right now. And then if you were to listen to it in a month, 2 months later, you're going to be at a different point in your business. And when you re-listen to it, you're going to take away with a totally different, just as significant gold nugget that time as well. And it has nothing to do with the notes. It has everything to do with just listening, being present, being here with me, and receiving. Okay. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go into your guys' questions. Now, let's see here. So you guys have, a lot of these questions have been submitted ahead of time. I'm also going to be checking the chat while we're going through this to answer any questions live. That will probably be more at the end. But from the questions that have been submitted ahead of time, these really fell into three kinds of buckets. The first one was like social media, and specifically with social media, it is around, oh, give me a minute. We got a hand up or something. Specifically around social media, and it's around how to being able to create consistent content, which is honestly probably my most number one asked question I hear from clients all the time is like, Brie, how do I create content consistently? The next bucket really was falling in like how to create or how to attract ready to buy clients. And the third was really being able to time manage, how to spend your time on the right things, how to balance a variety of different like priorities, and how to really have the time management skills of like a badass CEO that I know you all are. So that's what we're going to focus on today. And then at the end, we're going to do a little additional Q&A for any questions that are coming up. But I will try to answer those if they're relevant to the immediate topic. I will try to answer those as we go. So let's jump into our first topic that everybody loves because it's important to all of our businesses. You can't run away from it. There's just no way of having an online service right now without having a social media presence. Okay. So with that said, well, first thing I want to preference when talking about social media is this. Like I said, you cannot get away from it. There is no way to have an online business and not have a social media presence. Okay. The two are tied together. Social media is a really great and fantastic tool that is able to really help you reach such a wider audience than you could ever imagine than before. Social media is very much though what you make of it. So if you right now are having an experience where you feel like, oh my gosh, social media is so draining, it's so annoying, it's so toxic, I, dread going on there all the time, I would highly encourage you to have a shift in perspective and reflect on how you are perpetuating and creating that paradigm for yourself. And I would challenge you to think of like, how can you make social media fun for you again? What would that look like? What would it look like if you actually enjoyed showing up to post, if you enjoyed showing up on your stories, enjoyed interacting and engaging with your community on the platform? What would that look like? What would need to happen? How would you need to change how you show up? Because you would need to change how you show up. Okay. So that's just like the foundation of when it comes to social media. Now, when it comes to creating consistent content, this is the gold nugget because as we know, and as you've heard multiple times, if anybody is a social media manager for even a hot minute, the one thing you're going to hear them immediately tell you is that in order for you to succeed in social media, you have to be consistent. Now, I think it's very important that we define consistency. I think a lot of time the default is that consistency means that you have to be posting every single day, multiple times a day, with no break, ever. And that is just not realistic for a lot of us. That is also not the definition of consistency. The definition of consistency that social medias are looking for, and that as a soul-aligned balanced, energetic being is being able to come up with a schedule. What works for your energy? How often do you want to post? Can you post? And committing to that and staying consistent to that schedule and having integrity in that schedule. If you want to post Monday through Friday every day, that's great. Stick to it. If you want to post Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays, great. Stick to it. Do not compare someone else's consistent social media style and how that looks. Don't compare that to yours, okay? Because everyone's energy is different. I'm jumping ahead. So with that said, here are 3 very actionable takeaways on how to create consistent content. The first, you need to develop your self-awareness around your own energy. As I was saying, everyone's energy is different. What looks like consistency for one person is different for the other. When you want to post, when you have the energy to create content, when you have the energy to, that inspiration hits, all of that looks different. But most likely it's probably a cycle. It's a circle of like you're really feeling it, and then you get really tired and you fall off. You really feel it, you get really tired and you fall off. Understand what that looks like. Be honest with yourself. Be radically crazy honest with yourself. And typically I'm feeling more inspired to post or to write something like in the mornings or during my ovulation cycle or in the spring, in the summer, more so than the fall, the winter. I really just want to hibernate. Like during the holidays, I don't actually want to post at all. I want to go underneath into a turkey coma and just go under and hibernate like a bear. Like if I could not show up during the holidays and pop myself out during Groundhog Day, that's what I would do. These are good things to know. Just be honest with yourself. What does this look like? Okay. Which kind of leads into the second thing. Stop shooting on yourself. Stop trying to do it all, showing up all the time, doing all the lives, all the stories, all the reels, all the TikToks, all the YouTubes, all the podcasts, and stop trying to do it all the time. You will burn yourself out. That will be exhausting. That will perpetuate your paradigm that social media is exhausting and it feels like a spinning wheel. It gets you nowhere. That's just throwing spaghetti on a wall and hoping that it sits. Create a strategy. And stop. And what other people are doing may not be working for you. Figure out what works for you, which leads to the third thing, which is one of my favorite girls, Miss T Swifty herself, is the one who said, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And that is so true, especially here in business. Have a plan, okay? Have a plan for when you want to rest and create something to support you to do that. So being able, like when you're in your creation phase, being able to really utilize that, create till your little heart's content. Take one piece of copy content, reuse it for an email, reuse it for a reel, turn it into 3 reels. I promise you, when it comes to creating consistent content, I promise you are probably trying to stuff way too much content into one post, and that one post can probably actually be broken down into 3 posts. In fact, I would challenge you right now to go onto your social media, find a post, break it back out into 3 posts. You can do it. And then schedule those posts out for the future. That's 3 days you don't have to worry about it. But have a plan. Stick to that plan. Create the structures and processes that you need to support said plan. Okay? And then also, once again, when it comes to creating consistent content, do not be afraid to reuse content. Okay? Someone has to see something 9 times, 7 to 9 times on social media for it to fully sink in, especially before they're about to make a decision on buying something, on purchasing something. So all of you guys who feel like you have to constantly be creating new content, because God forbid if somebody sees the exact same post that you posted over on Instagram, sees it on Pinterest, saw it in your email, saw it on TikTok, they would think, what, you're a fraud? Absolutely not. That is a ridiculous standard that your inner critic is holding you to that no one gives a flying fladoodle about, to be totally honest, okay? So this is your permission if you need it. If you needed a big official permission slip. It says, from Coach Bree to you. This is your formal official permission slip to reuse content on the same platform, across platforms. Take an email, turn it into 5 different Instagram posts, turn those posts into reels, turn all that, talk about it in your story, go live with it. The more the merrier. The more the merrier, guys. This is your permission, so go forth. So that's my quick and dirty on how to create consistency in content. If you would like more information about this specifically, I would highly encourage you guys to check out my Master Your Authentic Voice masterclass. It is inside of the Honey Club membership, and you will be able to access and check out more about that on my website. The next part is talking about ready to buy clients. How do I attract ready to buy clients? This is honestly all about being able to create an engaging audience, an activated audience. I'm gonna take a quick drink, let you guys catch up. Let me read the chat real quick. What do we have going on in the chat right now? Let's see here. Okay, so in the chat, I asked what are some of your biggest questions relating to your biz? Let's see here. Or your biggest challenges? Let's see here. We have marketing, not yet sure. My business is fairly new, but I would say knowing my worth in pricing. Ooh, yeah, marketing and pricing, those do go hand in hand. I could do a whole training on that. But honestly, I would need more context to really being able to answer that. Let's see here. Figuring out strategy for growth and priority of implementation. That is going to be a lot around your social media and deciding how do you want to grow, what social medias work best for you. I would highly suggest when it comes to social media, only actually picking 2 to 3 to solely focus on. And if you want to do email marketing campaigns, like that counts. So first up, I would highly encourage everyone to have email marketing, because here's the thing about social medias, as we have seen, anybody at any time can decide to take away your social media. What would you be left with? How would you reach out to your clients? How would they hear updates about you? How would they get in contact with you? Email is huge. Email in your website, huge assets here. Okay. And then second, figuring out your ideal client so you can kind of know where they're at. So if you're wanting to reach the more Gen Z and younger demographics, you're going to have to be on TikTok. If you want to reach a lot of females and moms and DIYers, if you're maybe more of a creative creator or something, Pinterest is going to be great for you. I love Instagram. I've been on Instagram for 8 years, building brands, 6 years, something like that. So that one's always a tried and true for me. If you're trying to create community, Facebook groups are really awesome for that as well. So just figuring out what are you actually trying to accomplish here? How do you want to engage? Are you more of a writer? Are you more of a talker? Are you more of a visual person? Which platform supports your style? Let's see here. All right, so moving on. Ready to buy clients. Okay, so in order for you to attract ready to buy clients, the first bare minimum foundational thing you have to do is you actually have to get very, very clear on who your ideal client is and what that looks like. Now, in order to get clear on who your ideal client is, you need to get clear about you, your brand, what you're offering, how you're going to be, like what do you want to offer as a transformation and how you're going to do that. And then being able to start thinking about your ideal client in mind. And I want you to think about everything about this ideal client, okay? I want you to think of not only about their pain points, but their desires, the transformation that they are wanting to accomplish, where they're currently at in life, job, home, personal life, money bracket, everything. And then I want you to think about where they want to go in life. Think about that too. Job, home, personal life. You know, are they super social, have a bunch of friends, or are they a bit more on the strong, confident, have a few like close friends, but they value, you know, the quality of connections over the quantity, things like that. Like, what are their values? What values are in line with you? How do they, working with you, fulfill the values that they hold within themselves? These are all very important factors to be thinking about when you're creating your ideal client profile. Okay. And even give that profile a name. Create a Pinterest board with them in mind, or mood board, whatever. But I want you to be so clear whenever you're creating content, I want you to be so clear on who you're writing this content for every single time. And every single time being able to come back to exactly how you are helping them and how you're helping them and what transformation you are helping them acquire, achieve, experience, whatever verb you want to use. Second, we need to understand when it comes to attracting ready to buy clients, we have to understand people buying is more of an emotional decision than a logical decision. People don't buy the what, they buy the why. You can talk about all the logistics that you want, but at the end of the day, we don't make decisions on what we buy based off solely off of the functionality and the logistics of it. It also comes down to, do we vibe with that person? Does that person have embody, like, do they have the life that we want to live? Do we like them? Do we have similar hobbies and interests? Do we see a piece of ourselves in that person? Do we connect with them? That is crucial. That is crucial. And so in order to do that, when you're writing your content, when you're thinking about how you're going to be selling something, how you're going to be pitching it, you need to be thinking about what is the transformation that you are actually selling. And also, I think a lot of people try to keep their personal selves out of their business. We want to see that. Your audience wants to see that. They want to know you, the you behind your business. They want to know your passions. They want to know your values, how you like what you value, what your dreams are, how you got here, your story. Storytelling is huge to being able to prime the audience so that you build up that trust and that connection so they feel like they're buying from another person and not a giant conglomerate like Target or Amazon that's just a faceless where they just feel like another number. People are craving community and they want to be intentionally buying and they want to feel supported and they want to feel seen. The more you're able to do this and how you're creating your content and how you're selling, the more you're going to get audience members and clients who are like, take my money. Take my money. You're perfect. Like you're exactly this is exactly what I want. We vibe very well. Logistically, you got all the things, but like take my money. And then finally, understanding buyer types. This one is a little neuroscience-y, little psychology. But fun fact, there are actually 4 main buyer types. And this is how there are 4 different types of behaviors that people use when they are trying to navigate their purchases. Okay. And it's funny because it's very similar to another model that I use in my full-time job called DISC. So we're going to kind of explain it a little bit like that. But imagine we have a circle and put that circle in half this way. Up here is like fast action people who are able to take really fast action in their decisions. And down here are people who are more slow and considerate. You know, they want to take their time making their decisions. And then put another line right here. And then on, okay, what is it? My right side, your right side of the paper. Put down, you know, people that are engaging, warm, friendly, social. They crave that connection, being able to connect with people. And then on the other side, left side, this is people who are more analytical. They're more analytical. They're a little bit more focused on like results, logic. They can come off a bit direct sometimes or questioning, but they care a little bit more. They're thinking a little bit more with their logical brain and wanting to know the nuts and bolts of things. Whereas the other side of the Mormon accepting is more, are the vibes good? How are the vibes? It's more about how they feel, per se. So you'll notice that when you break out your circle that way, you have 4 quadrants. These are the 4 different buyer types, okay? I could go deeper into this, but honestly, I have a really, really, really great, fantastic workshop, training, masterclass that goes into all of these 4 different buyer types. If I were trying to go into this with you guys right now, we would be here way longer than I have time for. You probably have time for. This is only supposed to be a quick little like girly chat. So if you want to learn more about the reason why these buyer types are so important though, is because once you understand these different types of buying types, you can start understanding which buyer profiles are in your audience. So that then you can start creating content specifically geared to speak to what those buyer profiles, what they value, what their immediate questions are, what their desires are, you'll know everything. So that then when they're like it's like being able to have a sneak peek into their brain. And so you'll be able to answer and provide so much value before they even speak. So it feels like you're talking to them exactly. And that connection is already created so that then they go into your DMs like, hey, I want to work with you. Let's go for it. And they feel like they already know you because your content has been written specifically for them. That's why it's important to understand your buyer types. And if this is something that you are very interested in, then I would highly encourage, once again, I have a really great training called Big Launch Energy. It's a masterclass training inside of the Honey Club membership. Again, that's where a lot of my trainings go to live. So go to my website to check out that membership. It's super fantastic. And the training itself is geared towards Black Friday. But honestly, this is important for anytime you're trying to launch or sell anything whatsoever. These principles do not change. Okay. Let's see here. What questions do we have about this? Let's see here. We got, okay, so the comment, finding the right time and confidence to put my business out there, have it go live rather than just growing word of mouth. Yeah, yeah, no, that's scary. And that's one reason why being able to understand your clients' buyer types, being able to have a strategy around your social media, understanding who your ideal client is, like all answering these questions is going to give you that confidence to put yourself out there. So it doesn't feel so much like, oh, I'm scary. I hope I know what I'm talking about. Like, no, when you have a plan and when you're able to practice speaking and know and being able to do that, like this is one situation where quantity actually creates quality. The more you know, the more you go and you talk about your business, and the more you answer these questions and do this back end work, so that you can able to like have an informed plan. The it's going to actually give you so much more freedom. I think a lot of people hesitate to do this work because they think it's like unnecessary or it's dragging them down, not needed. This gives you clarity. So you have the confidence to know exactly what you're saying, what you stand for, and the confidence to be able to actually have conversations and engage with people and have clients have ask you questions and not feel like an imposter and not feel like a fraud. Okay. Um, what else we got? Ah, excited to meet other women like me and having a fun time to do so. Yes. Yes, we love that, Faye. We love that for you. The whole point of this is to have fun with it. Let's be honest here. Let's see. Getting and cultivating valid referrals. Yeah, that's a great question regarding here. How to get and cultivate valid referrals. That is a lot of being able to identify your ideal client and being able to have the confidence to say no. You don't want to work with people who are not your ideal client. And that can be really hard and kind of terrifying, especially when you're starting out off in your business, is having the confidence to actually say, no, I don't think we're a good fit, and I'm not gonna work with you. Now, the more that you can do in your of being able to identify who your ideal client is, being able to reach out and engage with them, being able to create content that attracts them, and the more you can do that on the front end, the less likely you're gonna have to actually hold that boundary. At the same time, every business owner has to go through the fire of holding integrity to that boundary of who they will work with and who they will not. But the stronger you hold that boundary, then the more effortless it is to cultivating valid referrals. Because the people who like your ideal clients are going to love you and they're going to want to talk about you and they're going to refer you. And then you don't have to worry about necessarily having to cultivate that valid referral process because it's going to organically happen because you are in integrity and holding your boundaries of who you work with. Now, if you're doing something like private coaching or a high ticket program, and you really want to make sure that you're getting the right clients in there, I highly, highly, highly encourage being able to create a form or being able to have like a discovery call on the front end and making it part of your process before you assign or accept to work with anybody, just to be super clear. And just because, like, if you go through that referral process and somebody isn't necessarily perfect for that situation, have options in your product suite to be able to either downsell them or lateral sell them into something else. So, for instance, if I was talking to a new potential client and they're like, "Oh my gosh, yes, I want to do your private one-on-one coaching," absolutely. So I'm like, "Okay, great. That sounds awesome. What do you want to do? What's your business idea? Like, do you have your business?" And they're like, "No, I don't have a business. I don't even know what I want to do. I just know I want to be an entrepreneur, but I don't know what I want to do." they may not actually be the best person to do one-on-one private coaching with, especially since that is a very high ticket. And I work with some like extreme, like self-led entrepreneurial ladies in there. Instead, I might actually encourage them to check out something like my mini boss moves or my honey club membership or something like that, somewhere where they can start to get introduced to the entrepreneurship world and start thinking about, what kind of business do they want to start, to create. And then once they kind of have a bit more of a foundation set up, then we can go into the nuts and bolts, creating the infrastructure and revisit. Maybe not necessarily private coaching, but maybe like a smaller package or something like that. But being able to have options in your product suite to downsell, lateral sell, yada yada. Okay. I'm new in business, so getting customers in marketing. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I feel that. Let's see here. Started my business in this past summer. Been a successful business owner for 23 years. Congratulations, Mayo. That is incredible. But this is a new area for me. I'm assuming that means online service provider is a new area for me. It has brought new challenges and it's very social media based. It is very social media based, which is why the beginning of this conversation, in my opinion, is gold. And that Mastering Your Authentic Voice workshop that I have in my Honey Club is also gold. I also have a lot of other resources in my Becoming a Manifest Star podcast. It is my podcast for helping entrepreneurs to leverage like different types of manifestation techniques, both the structure, just like actions that need to happen, but also understanding the energetics of it and becoming a manifest star in their business. See what I did there? It was a little punny, kind of cute. I love it. All right. Awesome. You guys keep the questions coming. Okay. I'm going to take this drink. Let's go into time management really quickly. And then I'll answer some more questions at the end if we have time. Let's see here. Okay, time management. So I got a lot of questions about time management. A lot of like, how do you balance it? How do you know what to spend your time and energy on? A lot of questions like that. So let's talk about this in general. Time management is extraordinarily important because there's only one you. And when you start a business, every business has this period of time where it's like just you and you have to wear all the hats. And while you want to do everything, you legitimately can't. You cannot do everything. So how do you decide what you can do that's also within your zone of genius and gives you energy, while at the same time understanding that like you have to do some of the things, you have to also run your business and you have to do some things that are not going to be fun, but they have to be done. So the first thing is being able to identify what things actually move the needle. And those are the things that actually like create sales, create brands awareness. When you're starting off and you're in year 1 to 3 of your business, brand awareness is everything. You should be focusing on getting your brand out there, building it up, working with as many people as possible, being very generous in the value that you're giving. I didn't say free. I'm not saying free, but being very generous in the value that you're giving in your products and your offerings, and having a very, very strong referral program, as well as having a very strong funnel and a very strong communication strategy as well. That is actually going to be the next training masterclass for my Honey Club members, is the things to focus on when you are starting a business, or especially like as we go into the new year, like things to focus on if you want to, what do I have it called? If you're going to be heads down in your biz, focus on these 5 things. It's going to go into that. So identify what moves the needle, what's going to be contributing to those things. If you are further along in your business, like you're 3 to 5, then the next thing about focusing on is being able to focus on scaling, ensuring that you have an airtight product suite, that it works both like upward selling, downward selling. You have one-to-many programs in there, like opportunities for passive, it's scalable. So while also ensuring that you don't have any energy leaks and cleaning that up. And by energy leaks, I mean, how are your boundaries around contracts, around money, around, the kind of clients that you're working with, the kind of work that you're doing. I have a lot of clients that start off, especially coaching clients who start off doing like one-on-one coaching. They think that's where they really want to stand. And then it's like, no, actually, this is very tiresome. And I want to switch. I want to go into group. Or people who think they want to be in a group, but that's very exhausting for them. They want to do more one-on-one. So switching between those two, like just being open and being fluent and being able to adjust to what is going to support your long-term vision and your long-term plans. The second thing with time management is honestly taking more messy action. I know this is going to seem a little controversial. Like, what does taking inspired messy action have to do with time management? And it's this, especially for business owners who are just starting off. I have so many clients who I love dearly, and I suffered from this too when I first started off. They love learning everything they possibly can about doing something in their business before actually doing it. And something that could have easily taken like 2 weeks with messy action has got extended out to 3 months. And they're not agile in their business. It takes them forever to do anything, to make a decision. And it's actually wasting more of your time than if you were to just jump in, do it, learn from it, adjust, do it again. So one of the best time management things you can do is actually stop overthinking it. Stop consuming all the podcasts, all of the workshops, all of the thing, all reading all the books. Stop doing all of that and just start playing in your biz. Allow yourself to play in your biz, first off. It doesn't have to be perfect. Allow yourself to fail and just start playing. You are going to experience, you're going to have way more time on your hands. You're going to get to your results faster than if you're trying to have the most perfect planned out thing. I hope that makes sense. That makes sense to you guys? Yes, yes. Awesome. Okay. Yay. That makes my little entrepreneur heart so happy to hear. Okay. And then finally, the best thing to time, oh man. My thoughts, I'm going to take another one. And then finally, the last thing I'll say about time management and being able to spend your time like a powerhouse CEO instead of a burnout employee is to have clarity. You have to have clarity around your big picture and how the daily actions that you're doing today, this week, this month, all play into your bigger picture. If you don't have clarity on why you're doing what you're doing, then clarity is your compass, okay? Clarity is your North Star. Without it, you are flailing in the wind. You have goals, you have things you want to do, but if you can't backtrack, reverse engineer in the creative process of like what your overall goal is, what you want to see happen, how is that going to happen in a monthly situation? How is that going to break down into weeks, and how does that break down into days? If you don't have this reverse engineer plan to keep you straight, then it's very, very easy to get swept up in the newest trend, in the fact that some person on the internet, some guru on the internet's coming in saying that you have to focus on passive income. If you don't focus on this passive income funnel through Amazon affiliate marketing, then you're losing money. Run into that. You have to have a YouTube channel. If you don't have a YouTube channel, you're missing out on tremendous growth. So you run into that, like, hey, you have to have a podcast. Like, no, it is too easy to have someone external telling you, having fear-based tactics, telling you that you have to focus on this, otherwise you're never going to get there, and allowing that to sway you, become your North Star, and follow that, only then for the next fear factor to come through, and then you go over to that, and you don't make progress in anything. So being able to sit down and take the time to figure out what really matters, what kind of results do you actually want to see in your business, and figuring out what things are actually going to get you there is huge. Now, if you're sitting there and you're like, Bree, that sounds great, but like, how do I do that? How do I know if the strategies that I'm doing right now are going to help me achieve my overall big picture goals? Like what does that even actually look like? I got you. So I was saying earlier, I am this weird, beautiful brainchild between masculine energy and feminine energy, structure, logic, Excel spreadsheets, and energetics, abstract concepts, yada, yada. And I have created a wonderful tool for you to help you understand what are the mini boss moves you can make every day that is going to generate the success that you crave, see in your business. So where you are right now and where you're going to be next year is a quantum leap that you could not fathom in your farthest years. I'm going to give you a tool that gives you that clarity, that roadmap on how to do that. It's so it's a digital download called Mini Boss Moves. And it's fantastic because it is all around giving you clarity around your actions and giving you that North Star on what you want to focus on. The clarity matrix itself is an Excel spreadsheet that is a table where you get to write out your goals, your priorities, the transformation that you want to see in your business, what you want to prioritize in one column. And then you rank those priorities itself from 1 through 5, 1 being like the most important. Like if nothing else, if none of the other priorities happen in my business, that's okay. Because this one happened and that's what matters. So 1 through 5. 5 being like, it'd be great if this happened. Not like not crazy, but it would be great. 1 through 5. You can have 3, you can have 2. 5 is the max. And then thinking of different strategies that are going to make that you think are going to make those priorities happen. Whether that is starting a YouTube channel or hiring a copyright person or focusing on, getting a tax accountant, whatever it is. You write out those strategies. And then each one you're like, okay, so how would hiring a copywriter, how would that help me achieve my goal of starting a YouTube channel, of increasing my brand awareness, of reaching 100K, 6 figures? How would having a copywriter help with that? And the more it would help, so let's say, creating brand awareness with a copywriter, that is so helpful, super powerful. A good copywriter is worth their weight in gold at that point. It's a 5. And copywriter towards starting a YouTube channel, probably not. I'll probably get a 1. Maybe even 1. And then, so you do that for every strategy, compare it to every priority, and then beautiful magic happens. Beautiful magic happens, and it ends up with a rating. The overall rating by focusing on that task, on that strategy, how much is that going to help you with achieving your overall goals? And then it rates it out for you so you can see purely number based, like what strategies you should be focusing on moving forward. Now, I love the Clarity Matrix so much. I love making Mini Boss Moves digital download. It's how I run my business. The thing about this to remember though is that it is a living, breathing document. Okay, things change, stuff happens, shifts happen. It's important to stay agile as an entrepreneur. This is not written in stone. So I probably go back to the Clarity Matrix once a month, definitely once a quarter, just to ensure that what I want to prioritize in my business is still true. But also at the same time, whenever I get hit with something like the next newest, greatest, Amazon affiliate program, like you're an entrepreneur and you're not doing affiliate programming, then what's wrong with you? You're missing out on money. Well, let me put that in my Clarity Matrix. Let me see how much would that actually help me for my goals, what I want to do in my business. Doesn't help me a lot. So boom, takes the fear right out of it. Takes me out of a response, subconscious, fear-based lack brain, and puts me into a strategic, confident business owner, CEO, who knows what she wants, knows what she's about, and is fully confident in being able to trust in her ability to make these decisions. 2 very different vibes, you guys. And this is the one that we want. So with that said, the making Mini Boss Moves digital download is actually going to be on a Black Friday special right now. Typically throughout the year, it is at $55 for the digital download. Black Friday special is $28. And since you guys are here with this recording, and you're seeing this around the same time of November or so, December, you guys get first dibs on being able to grab that course for yourself. I haven't opened it up to the rest of the public yet, so you guys are going to be the ones to grab it first. Go ahead and check it out on my website. It's Golden Bee by Bree. It's in my program vault. You will see it there. And of course, if you have any additional questions as we're going to Black Friday, this is a huge selling season. whether you're going to be going for it and riding that wave and want doing a launch, an active launch or private launch, or if instead you want to hibernate there and take the time to really focus in on your biz, the clarity matrix is going to be so huge in being able to help you have that clarity on exactly what to focus on. But also, I'm always here as a support as well. So if you have any specific questions for me, let's reach out. Let's see how we can work together, how I can support you. And of course, I love you guys so much. We unfortunately actually don't have time for any more questions. So I will try to answer as many as I can and the in the community group. Keep that going. And otherwise, until next time, we're definitely gonna do another Ignite girl chat. Because this was so fun. And I will see you guys. All right. Bye, lovelies.